Hi everyone, my name is Stacy Wixall. As many of you know, if you're watching, I am making this video to show people how to access various items using the OWL Library Systems catalog. So I am going to share my screen. And we are going to go to owl.org. So OWL.org is the main place for anyone who is in the OWL library system. And right here we have the OWL library systems logo, and OWL is spelled with two W's because it stands for Ontario, Wayne, Wyoming, and Livingston counties. There are 42 libraries in this system, and our catalog is going to be similar to most other library catalogs, although it will not be exactly the same. So if you get the gist of this one, you can probably apply much of what you learn right now to a different catalog. But if for some reason a different system has a very, very different catalog than ours, and you're having problems, I recommend just stop by, say hi to your local librarian, and let them help you, because that's what we do. But for today, I just want to show you what you might do in the case that you go to your doctor and your doctor, unfortunately, diagnoses you with diabetes, but fortunately says, hey, it's not at a really terrible level. It's completely manageable. And what I'd like you to do is go to the bookstore or your library and find a book that is affiliated with the American Diabetes Association so that you can learn how to cook some recipes that will help keep everything in check so you don't progress. So you say, okay, and here's what you do. You come to the OWL homepage and you search our collection. So you can search by title, you can search by subject, you can search by author. Right now, all you know is your doctor wants you to get a diabetes cookbook. So I'm going to just type in that and click search. Right away, we see the first result says diabetes cookbook. Now, you want to be careful. Look right here. It is two things. It's available online, so not a physical item. It's a digital item. And it says e-magazine. And that E, whenever you see an E in front of something, it means it's online or it's electronic. And it's a magazine. It's not actually a book. Now, this is probably a great resource to check out. But right now we're looking for a physical item. So I am going to actually skip over this one, and later I'll tell you how you could get to this magazine. I'm going to skip it though, and I'm going to go down to the next one and look at that. It's the American Diabetes Association Diabetes Cookbook. It's exactly what the doctor ordered. It says it's on the shelf right here in green at the Mount Morris Library. So all is perfect except one thing. Let's pretend for a moment that you are actually a person who lives in Macedon and uses the Macedon Library. Driving all the way to Mount Morris might be a little bit more than you want to bite off. That's okay. You can place a hold. Placing a hold simply means that that book will be pulled from the shelf in Mount Morris and sent right over here to the Macedon Library so you can read through it and find some good recipes that you want to cook. All you have to do, click on place a hold, and your library card number goes in this box. And then your password or PIN number will go in this box. Now, if you don't know your password or your PIN number, no problem, no worries. Just stop into the library, let the librarian know you don't know what it is, and we can help you to get to that password or PIN number. So let's say you did know it, you would click on continue, and you would be able to place a hold on the book. Very easy process. You just really need to know your library card number, which is right on the back of your library card, and what your PIN or password might be. And then that book will get pulled from the shelf and sent right to Macedon. And when it gets here, you'll be notified. Depending on what you have in your library card account, you may receive a phone call, an email, or a text message. It will probably either be an email or a text message in most cases. And then you'll know to come to the library. Now, if you actually were a Macedon patron, when that book gets here, we have a little shed set up right in the library. It's kind of a leftover artifact from the pandemic. People liked our grab and go so much that we still have it. The only difference is you can come in the library now, and the book is all checked out, ready to go, with a little tag on the outside that says your name with your last name first, and they're all alphabetically arranged on the shelves that are inside of the shed. You just pull that book and out the door you go. Easy peasy. Many libraries still have kept various things they implemented in the pandemic that people liked, so other libraries may do the same sort of grab and go thing. If not, there will be an area where your hold will go. You'll just have to find out from your library where you need to go to pick up the hold. You might have to go to the desk and have it checked out, or you might be able to it may already be pre-checked out to you and you just grab it and go. It depends on the library. But either way, still a pretty easy, quick process, and you've got that book. Let's see, what else did I want to tell you? Let's say that you need a book in large print. Now, I'm not going to say it has to be a book about diabetes at this point, but let's just say you're a person who struggles to read books. You do like to read, but your vision isn't what it used to be, and you need the bigger font. I'm just going to show you really quickly how you can get to those larger print books. If I type large print into the box, notice large print books comes right up. So I can click search, and that will search and call up all the books that are available in large print. Now, if you look at the first one, you do have to be careful in our catalog. It calls it up as a book, just a regular book in regular print. Calls up audiobook CDs. It calls up e-audiobooks, which we know means that that audiobook is available online to listen to through a tablet or a laptop. Again, ebook available for a tablet or a laptop. A Kindle book available for the Kindle, which is an e-reader. And then all the way on the bottom here, we see large print. So if Nora Roberts' identity was something you were interested in large print, you would be able to place a hold on it and get it. Now, if you're interested in just seeing what is available, but you don't want all 17,114 titles to come up, what I recommend, over on the left, we have what are called facets. And we have this one called added in the last. I click on it, and I like to pick quarter, added in the last quarter. And it will reduce the number of titles down to 110. And they will all be some of the more fresh, newly purchased items. And if you're like me and you really don't want to see anything that you can't have right now, you can come into the middle tab and choose available now, and 98 large print items that you could actually borrow right now. You might have to place a hold, but they're available now. That's just a really nice thing to be able to do if you are more of an impatient type person. But again, you're going to want to, let's see, expiration dates, a novel. The first one, when it just says book, it means it's in regular print. The next one's audio. that means it's to listen to, and then large print. So if I wanted expiration dates, I would click on place hold. I'd fill in my information and complete the process. And that book, because it's in Bloomfield, it would be sent via delivery to the Macedon Library. And I would likely have it tomorrow because generally it takes a day. It could take a couple days, but they usually come pretty quick. And I would get a notification when it does get here. So that's how I would do that. Now let's just say that maybe you're beyond large print and you're to a stage where you would just rather listen. Not a problem. You can type in audio book and do search. Same process that we just did for the large print. And then I, again, would come over to the facets. I don't want to wade through 12,000 plus items. I go to the added in the last. I choose quarter. That drops it down to 116 things to look through, a lot more manageable. And I can scroll down and see what different formats we have here. We have 3-inch Teeth by CJ Box. Comes as a book in regular print. Comes as an audiobook CD. Oh, but it says e-audiobook. Well, look right next door. It says available online. Remember, when you see that little E, it means it's a digital item. So you would need a laptop or an e-reader of some sort, a tablet, to be able to use that one. But if you want it to be able to listen to at home in a CD player, this is the one you'd want. And right now, there are several libraries that have it. I could go ahead and place my hold, and within a day or two, that audiobook would be here. I just do want to point out, because it hasn't happened until now, when you see checked out in red, it does mean the item isn't available. But remember, you can place a hold for an item that is checked out. It will just put you on a waiting list for the item. Now, you could be the next person, or there could be a few other people ahead of you. But when that book becomes available for you to borrow, as long as you're patient, you'll get that notification. And when you do, you can go ahead and place your, not place your hold, you already did. You can come into the library and pick it up, but it will take a little longer if it's been checked out and you have to wait your turn. But I just wanted to point that out. So that's that. So let's say that it's getting harder to be able to get to the library. Now, we did talk about in the presentation that there is a books by mail service, which I definitely encourage you to use if you're in the OWL library system. You just need to reach out to the system, and they will go through a questionnaire with you over the phone and determine how to get that set up properly for you. And again, if you are a person that is shut in and can't get out, definitely sign up for books by mail. It's a great offer that we have through this system. But if you also are a person who is tech savvy and you have an e-reader or a Kindle or a laptop or an iPad tablet, you could use our OWL to go service. So I'm going to go back to the OWL library page, and under digital library, so I went to owl.org up here, and then up at the top it says digital library. If I click the digital library, then you can see it's changed now to OWL to go. OWL to go is the site that has everything we have available for you online. So you need your e-reader or your tablet or your laptop, and you would be able to borrow any of these items. And a while ago, a magazine for diabetic cooking popped up. Magazines are available. They are right sort of in the middle when you land on the page. And if you click on magazines, you can sort of scroll through and see what is available. And there are lots of magazines for you to choose from. I would recommend, if you did need that diabetes magazine, you would choose Health and Lifestyle. And what's even easier probably is to go to search and type in diabetes. Let's see what comes up. So here's all kinds of different books and magazines that have to do with diabetes. Now I'm going to show you a way to make it a little bit easier to have control over what items come up, if it's a magazine or a book or an audio book. What I like to do is click on search, which is right here, click on it. And then right here where I'm circling is the word advanced. If you click on the advanced, then you can have a lot more control over what comes up. So let's say I want a health magazine. Well, let's say I want the cooking and food magazine, and I want one that's available now. So I choose available now. I want it for a general adult. Mature adult indicates you're looking for a book that would be like the 50 Shades of Grey series, a little bit more explicit in nature. Most of the time, you're probably just going to want general adult. So choose general adult. I want a magazine that's from the last 3 months. I want an Overdrive magazine. I don't care if it got an award or not, but I do want it to be in English. Okay, so now if I say search, all the cooking magazines, oh, apparently there aren't any available right now. But that's good to know, right? Oh, I see why. I chose the wrong thing. I accidentally clicked MP3 audiobook. That is not what I want. Okay, let's try one more time. So let's try even older. Let's try the last 6 months for cooking food magazines. So none are coming up. I am going to see if changing to health might possibly help. I am not sure why it's not working for me right now. Let me just do all subjects. It's probably because it's an Overdrive magazine I'm looking for. And let's just do the ones that have been added for 30 days and see what comes up. Okay, so in the last 30 days in magazines, what would apply if you just got that diagnosis of diabetes? This one might, it's a special Mediterranean diet edition of Better Homes and Gardens. As you can see, there are quite a few to choose from. There are 66. I'm not so far seeing if you had a new diagnosis of arthritis, you might be interested in the anti-inflammatory. It looks like we're not having a lot of luck with the diabetes one. So it goes. I So nothing brand new that's going to help you with the diabetes. So you say, that's fine. I'm going to get a book on diabetes from, whoops, let me erase that. From the catalog, I'm going to go to advanced. I'm going to say health. Going to say all the ones available now. General adult. Added in the last 6 months. I want an ebook. And I want it to be in English. And I'm going to search and see what comes up. There's only one book right now that comes up that's about health, and it doesn't look like one that's going to apply to having diabetes. So maybe I rely on my in-print versions and I place some holds to get that information. And instead I say, you know what? I'm stressed out. I'm going to borrow a fiction book. And I'm going to read something that is enjoyable for a while until my diabetes cookbooks come, and just try to stay relaxed. I don't want to be stressed out about all this. So I've got a fiction book available now, general adult, something that's come in the last 6 months. I want it as an ebook so I can read it. Don't care if it's got an award or not. And I want it in English. Phew. So I'm going to search. So now I've called up all of the different books that are actually available now. You can tell because right down here, they all say borrow. And if I want to borrow one, let's say, boy, some of these look kind of dark. Let's say I'm into the idea of a kitty, what looks to be a kitty mystery. I could click on borrow, and it's going to ask you if you are a member of the OWL Library System, Finger Lakes Library System, or Southern Tier. And that's just because all of these systems, we are all together in the catalog. So people have 3 times as much to choose from. But the one thing is you have to say which system are you a member of. And then you put in your card number. And you put in your PIN, just like you did for a regular book hold, and sign in and complete the process, and you will have that ebook instantly, pretty much. Let's say that you you want a fiction book. You want a general adult one. You want it to be relatively new, last 6 months. But you want it to be an audio book this time so you can listen to it. You don't care about awards, but you want it in English. And that will, oh, let me just, something wonky just happened. All subjects available now, general adult, last 6 months, audiobooks, and English. For some reason, I must not have had it on available now. There we go. So all the ones available right now for you to listen to come right up, and you just need to pick one. Click on the borrow, choose OWL Library System, put your card and your PIN in, and boom, you can be listening to that book within a minute or two. Easy, easy, easy. So hopefully everybody understands that. And I just want to say that if for any reason you find any of this to be challenging for you and you need a little extra help, please just go to your library, or even if you're homebound, give us a call and we will do our best to help walk you through the process so you can get your audio or ebook. We love to help you, so just don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help if you need it. So the one last thing I want to show you today is not that, but this. Okay. I want to show you the Medline Plus site. So we talked a little bit about it. So if you go to nlm.nih.gov, and let's say the doctor has just diagnosed you with diabetes, and you want to take a deeper dive and be able to understand more about diabetes and the sorts of research that might be going on about diabetes. If you want to take a really deep dive, then PubMed is the way to go. It's authoritative, it's professional, it's scholarly. You just type in diabetes, click on the search, and you will get all kinds of articles having to do with diabetes. And if you want the free full text ones, right here, we have some facets, just like we did in our library catalog. Just click free full text, and then all the ones that are free and completely not just a snippet bit, but you're getting the whole article, they will come up. And you can go ahead and, let's say you were interested in diagnosis and management of central diabetes insipidus in adults. Let's say the first one interested you. You click on it and you get all of the article. You can see who it's affiliated with. You get the abstract. Diagrams. And it will recommend down here some similar articles that you might want to look into if this one interested you. I'm going to go ahead and check full text as well, just to make sure all the full text ones come up. But one thing you notice here is if you have a medical background or you're just a person that is very comfortable with reading medical ease, in other words, articles written using medical jargon, medical terminology, this is a great place to look. It's the kind of place your doctor would look, but maybe it's a little more than you bargained for, because you're not a medical professional. So we'll go back to this site, nlm.nih.gov. So if you want the more middle of the road articles, I mean, they're all professionally written, they're reliable, trustworthy information, but they're written at a target audience that is not a medical audience. It's just an average person that does not have that medical background. Medline Plus is definitely the way for most people to go. I only show the other one because sometimes people want that. But if you just want something more general that is written for a patient to understand, this is where you can go, and you'll see right here, we have diabetes, diabetes type 1, diabetes in pregnancy, all sorts of articles about diabetes. Now, maybe I should have said diabetes in senior citizens. Let's see if that brings up a little more. Actually, that did not help. Let's take that off of there and go back. Let's click on diabetes. So this is really nice. It gives you a summary of diabetes. They have an article about how to manage it. What is it? They talk about the different medical testing involved with diabetes. They talk about ketones in your blood and in your urine. There's some prevention and risk factor articles, all sorts of information that can help you understand your diagnosis better so that you can do the right things that will help you deal with this diagnosis the best you can. So, yeah. And there are even handouts that your doctor's office might have handed you or might not have, but if not, they're all right here. Anyway, this is the site to go to because oftentimes if you just Google diabetes, you could come up with all kinds of sites that are not reliable, not trustworthy. It could be they're trying to sell you something that could actually be harmful to your body. With this, whatever you find on here, you can trust it, and it's not going to be anything that's going to hurt you or be asking you to spend your money on some sort of charlatan cure. So I highly recommend the National Library of Medicine. And again, I'm going to go back one, maybe two. So it's NLM, National Library Medicine, NIH, National Institute of Health.gov. So this is where you want to go when you have your medical questions and you need some more information. And again, if you get on the site and it's too overwhelming and you need some help, please just stop by the library because we're always happy to help you on your information journey. And that's all I have for you today. And there's so much more we could cover. All sorts of excellent resources are available using a computer. If you have other needs and they were not covered in today's presentation, please stop by your library and ask those questions because I am sure that a librarian that is located near you would be happy to help. Bye. And thank you for listening.